Hello, I'm Chris Pajak from the RedmenTV, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp so far. We're in a little bit of a sticky patch at the moment, you know. Obviously, the last 3 games have all been draws, but I'm here to show you what Liverpool have been doing and to see if you guys can garner anything from that for the game on Saturday against Chelsea, obviously at Stamford Bridge. So, how Liverpool have been lining up, we've gone with Simon Mignolet in goal. Alberto Moreno is playing left back, Mamadou Sakho left of Martin Skrtel, and Nathaniel Klein as a right back. Now, this is something that we've only been playing for at the back under Jurgen Klopp. Before then, we were switching it around so often, but generally under Rodgers, it was 3 at the back. What I've seen from Liverpool with these 5 in particular, these are the players that have played every single game under Jurgen Klopp so far. Obviously, I am recording before the Bournemouth game, so I imagine that this will change slightly. But I would guess that this would be the back 5 that comes back in for Chelsea. What I've seen with this back 4 is we have looked diabolical with 4 at the back for the last couple of years now under Brendan Rodgers. You know, just conceding so many goals. But what it seems to me is like these 4 understand how they're supposed to be playing with each other, even in just such a short space of time that we've been working with Jurgen Klopp. Now look, Alberto Moreno tends to bomb forwards, as does Nathaniel Klein, which leaves Mamadou Sakho and Martin Skrtel quite isolated at times. Now, if, for example, Lucas does tend to drop in a little bit and maybe these guys split out. So, again, we are sort of working with the 3 at the back theory. You'll see this quite a lot. Lucas looking to pick up possession from either centre-back and then maybe moving on to Moreno or Chan, Milner or Klein or something like that. And quite often as well, our passing combinations, Mamadou Sakho to Alberto Moreno is one of the highest passing combinations that we have. Mamadou Sakho is more of our ball-playing centre-half. So I would expect Liverpool against Chelsea to see this combination, these 3 combinations more than the right hand side over here with Nathaniel Klein. But moving it back along anyway, going into the midfield now, of course. Lucas Leiva is our defensive midfielder, a player that Liverpool fans have been up and down on over his career with Liverpool. But again, you know, every time we seem to hit a good patch of form, even over the last 2 years, Lucas Leiva's been involved in that. We had obviously a lengthy unbeaten spell at the back end of last season, just trying to get into the top 4. Lucas Leiva was involved in that heavily, and the switch to the back 3 as well. James Milner, there's some debate actually amongst Liverpool fans as to what formation we're actually playing. It could be viewed as a 4-3-3, it could be viewed as a 4-1-2-2-1, whichever way you like to see it. I don't think it makes too much difference. We probably get bogged down in formations a little bit too much. James Milner is our pressing presence, if you will. He looks for pressing triggers, you know, midfielders picking the ball up here with his back to him. He'll be going straight at them. It's been much publicised about gegenpressing. It's actually the most used word in Liverpool at the moment, behind Boss and La. But yeah, there you go. Third most popular word in Liverpool, gegenpressing. James Milner runs so often and presses so often. I noticed last week in one of the games, he made 82 sprints and ran about 14 kilometres. So expect to see probably him rested against Bournemouth because he will be needing to press against you guys so much on Saturday, I would assume. Emre Can, what we like to see from Emre Can is he picks the ball up deep and he actually runs with the ball at his feet. He's one of our only players in midfield who actually does do that. And then he'll be looking for Coutinho, maybe to play it into Origi. Adam Lallana comes inside quite often to pick the ball up as well. And then these 2, I've got them out a bit wide. They probably play a little bit more central, to be honest with you. Phil Coutinho is an expert at shooting over the bar from around this position here. So expect to see that 4, 5 or 6 times during the game on Saturday. Adam Lallana, he does this amazing turn. It looks kind of a little bit like that. He does that 3, 4, 5 times a game. You take your pick. What he does is he takes the ball and he turns like Johan Cruyff, and it's coined the Lallana turn. So watch out for that one as well, of course. And Divock Origi, you probably won't notice him much, to be perfectly honest with you. He had the first half against Southampton before we brought Christian Benteke on. He got no shots off in that entire half. But, you know, he's our 4th choice striker. He's a young kid. He is what he needs to do more for me is he needs to run the channels a little bit better. You know, it's a tough job in the Premier League playing as one up top. And Divock Origi I don't think is used to it and has gotten into his stride yet. But, you know, he's one of those players, I haven't seen him a few times now. I think that if he gets a goal, he might be a streaky kind of striker. He might get 2, 3 or 4 in the next couple of games, and then you'll probably have a little bit of a dry patch from him again. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping he's one of those score 1 a game for 15 games type of strikers, but from what I've seen of him so far, the young kid, I just haven't seen that enough. He's not getting into the right areas. He's not great at holding the ball up, so I'd expect the Chelsea defenders to come at him quite hard, play him really close, and to see and just make mistakes really. But you know, I joked about Phil Coutinho. He is one of our best players. He's probably our best player. He's just in poor form. I'm sure you guys probably know a little bit about that with your best player from last season being Eden Hazard, and him being in absolutely turgid form as well at the moment. Phil Coutinho's not playing as badly as Eden Hazard, I don't think. I think Coutinho's playing at a 6, and well, Hazard much lower, to be honest with you. But Phil Coutinho probably not lacking the confidence that Hazard really is lacking, especially after that poor penalty at the weekend. Was that the last penalty in the game? It was probably the last penalty in the game. No, I'm just messing around. Like, look, we're both in bad form at the moment. I do totally understand that. Phil Coutinho, if we play well and if he plays well, we could play well. At the moment, he needs a bit of a rest for me. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And he's just shooting from the wrong positions all the time. Look, we all know he scored a worldie against Stoke in the first game of the season, our first goal of the season, but he's not done enough since then. He's not working the keeper enough when he gets into these areas just on the edge of the D, and he will get into those areas. And the one thing with him is he's never afraid to take a shot. You know, his head never goes down. So I do expect to see him come back into form sometime soon. I'd be surprised if we deviated from that a little bit too much. Maybe Roberto Firmino could come in and play as this sort of false 9, depending on how he does against Bournemouth, because he's played there for Brazil. And, you know, he's quite a physical guy. I didn't realise when we'd signed him just how physical he was. He's quick. He loves to press as well, as does Firmino and Coutinho. Firmino, Coutinho and Lallana, sorry, they all love to press. I feel a bit sorry for Divock Origi, but I think, you know, if we want to get a result against Chelsea, then I think we probably need our better players on the pitch. And Firmino, for me, from the flashes that I've seen of him so far, has got more skill. He's more dynamic. He's more willing to press, and he suits our style of play a little bit more than what I've seen from Divock Origi. So there you go, that's Liverpool, a little bit of a breakdown. If I was Chelsea, what I would be doing is I would be running at these two centre-backs with the ball. Martin Skrtel tends to just back off and back off and back off and get himself all flustered. These guys aren't great when they've been left on their own. If Moreno's up there and Klein's up there and someone's running at these two, that's where our weakness is. Of course, all that being said, our biggest weakness is set pieces. We've just been absolutely terrible at set pieces. We saw against Southampton at the weekend. Virgil van Dijk was just incredible for them whenever the ball was whipped in. Obviously their centre-back comes up for corners and stuff, and we've played this kind of like zonal marking system. I'm going to move these out the way a little bit so the cameras can catch up with me. So let's say the ball's whipped into here. These two are zonal, running back towards goal from the corner flag. And Virgil van Dijk was basically stood over here. A lot closer to the goal, of course, than we can show on this Sabutio thing. And, you know, I want to see the big men moving out to these players. Get maybe the likes of Emre Can or, you know, any of our other bigger players. Christian Benteke was obviously playing at the weekend for 45 minutes. Get them marking the space in the centre and get the big guys marked by the two centre-backs. But that's not what we're doing. We're seeing the likes of Alberto Moreno trying to pick up 6'5" or whatever he is, Virgil van Dijk at the back post. And it's just not working for us. A game we conceded from a sloppy set piece given away by James Milner at the weekend. Ball was whipped in, flicked on at the edge of the box, not onto the back post. Fonte heads it across goal and it's just bundled in. And that's what Liverpool have been doing all season, unfortunately. You know, it's never under sustained pressure that we can see goals, because we tend to have a lot of the possession. We're winning that, great. But what tends to happen is we're fine, Ball's looped up and we're a goal behind or we're level, and that's the story of Liverpool's season so far. We're really struggling to create anything up the top of the pitch because obviously we're on our fourth choice striker. He's young, he's coming into the league. He doesn't really know how he's supposed to be playing in this system, I don't think. And we're just conceding sloppy goals at the back. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of Liverpool's formation, how we've been performing under Jurgen Klopp. Do expect to see a lot of gegenpressing, it's counter-pressing. If you want to see that video, gegenpressing explained, go over to our channel RedmenTV.com or youtube.com/RedmenTV and look for Jurgen Klopp's Tactics Explained. It's had like 80,000 views now. It was absolutely mental, I can't believe it. Where we broke down gegenpressing for everybody to see. So anyway, listen, Eunice, thanks very much for having me on the show. I do hope that Chelsea fans will be able to garner a little bit of something before the game at the weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea and subscribe to the Redmen TV as well. Anyway, I'm Chris Pajak for the Redmen TV and apparently now for 100% Chelsea, signing off.
100% Chelsea here. Now, in the spirit of Halloween and the fact we are playing Liverpool on Saturday, we thought we'd do something special. We're going to interview the fan, a Liverpool fan who is dedicated and passionate about his club. He was there the last time they won the league, an historic day. He was actually there.